everyone, and welcome. You are watching Eagle News America. I'm Anna Cui, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada. Tonight, we have live updates from several of our correspondents from across the U.S., starting with Imelin Ramos in Washington, D.C.
White House downplays tension between President Trump and Dr. Fauci.
Next, Carla Valdez in Union Township, New Jersey.
New Jersey lifting 50% capacity limit on New Jersey Transit and private carrier buses, trains, light rail, and Access Link.
Jane Kathleen Gregorio from Corpus Christi, Texas.
30-year-old man dies after attending COVID party, according to Texas doctor.
In Sacramento, Macy Membrera reports about new statewide actions effective immediately in California. And AJ Capistrano in Oxnard, California.
LA County closely watched due to COVID-19 surge.
Plus, Alex Killman of our Los Angeles Bureau shares a story about neighbors helping neighbors during this pandemic. But first, let's take a look at the overview of how the world looks now. According to the Coronavirus Resource Center of Johns Hopkins University in Medicine, as of 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday, July 13, 2020, the number of COVID-19 cases reported worldwide is now more than 13 million. This includes more than 3,300,000 in the U.S. Sadly, this virus has claimed more than 570,000 lives worldwide. This number includes more than 135,000 deaths in the U.S. Our coverage begins now. Doctors treat COVID-19 patients in Argentina as the country keeps battling the pandemic with over 100,000 cases and more than 1,800 deaths. Latin America and the Caribbean has become the second region with the highest number of deaths behind Europe. The World Health Organization estimates that the planet will not recover the old normality in a foreseeable future. Sudan has begun distributing cash handouts under an internationally backed plan to help millions cope with an economic crisis aggravated by the coronavirus pandemic. The stimulus is funded from $1.8 billion pledged by 40 countries at a conference last month in Germany as the African nation transitions from 3 decades of rule under now ousted autocrat Omar al-Bashir. Yasser Mohammed al-Noor is among those who have benefited from the handouts, part of an economic reform agreement the government reached with the International Monetary Fund last month. Noor, who lives in the working-class suburb of Al-Qadra, about 25 kilometers from the capital Khartoum, said that the help is much needed, but not enough to deal with the rising cost of living. Yasser Mohammed al-Noor, Sudanese father. Let's listen in.
لكن والله المبلغ ما كافي، ما يسوى حاجة. أنا بالتحديد استلمتها 2500. ما عانيت مثلا في الاستلام بتاعه ولا كده، لكن ال 2500 بقت ما بتقضي يوما والتاني بتنتهي على كده.
Sudanese authorities hiked bread prices earlier this year, and many people still queue for hours to buy staple foods or fill their car with petrol.
أفتكر هذا المشروع له بعض الإيجابيات وعليه سلبيات كثيرة. من إيجابيات هذا المشروع أنه يدعم أسر فقيرة، ومعروف مستوى الفقر في السودان حسب آخر إحصائية هو 65% من الشعب السوداني دون خط الفقر، وربما بفضل جائحة كورونا تكون هذه النسبة ارتفعت إلى 80%. ولكن المبلغ المحدد للشخص السوداني في هذا الدعم هو 500 جنيه سوداني، اللي هي حوالي أقل من $4 تقريبا بسعر السوق الموازي. وهذا المبلغ مبلغ ضعيف جدا للفرد ولا يفي احتياجاته على الإطلاق.
Sudan's economic woes have been further compounded by the coronavirus outbreak, which pushed authorities to impose a lockdown on Khartoum state, including the capital, that was loosened last week. The country has officially registered more than 10,000 cases of the illness and around 650 deaths.
مشاريع بتهدف إلى مساعدة شريحة من السكان لمواجهة عمليات الإصلاح الاقتصادي بصورة كاملة. باختصار، الدعم النقدي المباشر فيها قيمة مالية تقوم حكومة السودان بتقديمها لأرباب الأسر وفقا لمعايير معينة.
Former U.S. First Lady Michelle Obama kicks off the 2020 Girl Up Leadership Summit held virtually this year amid the coronavirus pandemic. Mrs. Obama talks about the importance of educating young girls and giving them opportunities, a cause she's been vocal about for years, as well as her work for the Girls' Opportunity Alliance that she and her husband, former U.S. President Barack Obama, founded through the Obama Foundation. Take a look.
We know from past crises like Ebola that the struggles that many girls already face are worsened in times like these. Violence at home, child marriage and teen pregnancy, economic hardship, and caretaking responsibilities within families. Challenges like these are made even more stark in times of crisis. And that, of course, includes education. Because when we give girls the chance to learn, we give them the opportunity to fulfill their potential, build healthier families, and contribute to their country's economies for generations to come. That's why we started the Girls' Opportunity Alliance at the Obama Foundation, because we believe that the millions of adolescent girls around the world who aren't in school today can make a profound difference for their families, their communities, and our entire world, but only if they have the opportunity and the education to get it done.
When we come back, updates from our correspondents across America. We'll return shortly. This is Eagle News America.
All or nothing na ang magiging labanan sa tagisan ng galing. Dahil ang top 30 ay sasalain na para mabuo ang top 15 semi-finalist.
Sino ba sila? Karaniwang tao, saan katatakbo? I've been praying for.
Tutukan niyan this weekend sa pinakamalawak na talent competition on Philippine TV and online. Ito ang Tagisan ng Galing.
Tagisan ng Galing is presented by SMC Infrastructure, building a better world. Sandig sugar-free white coffee, puno ng white coffee taste without the sugar, kaya lower calories. Try mo na Sandig sugar-free white coffee. Sarap ng white coffee, now sugar-free. Vegapro Nutri-Choice, the only premium dog food with active boost for optimum energy and prebiotics that help strengthen immunity. Just like Catherine Bernardo, gawing listo ganado ang fur babies niyo. Listo ganado sa Nutri-Choice. Magnolia Chicken Templados, delicious, ready to cook and freshly marinated daily. Pure Foods Lunch and Meat, pure sarap for every family. Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef, ang cheesy ng corned beef mo. Walang duda, kids can tell na #1 ang Pure Food Standard Juicy. Ang tender, ang juicy, ang sarap. Co-presented by Cooper, expert in air conditioning and electromechanical. Also engaged in structural, electrical, fire protection, plumbing, and sanitary services. Cooper, your ultimate MEPS and air conditioning solutions. Unlad Incorporated International, fight against global poverty. New San Jose Builders Incorporated. Canrib Corporation, your ventilation and air conditioning specialist. Vita Herbs Philippines Green Coffee, masarap, mabango, at healthy pa. Puerto Rico Resort and Convention Center, Cabiao, Nueva Ecija. I love Puerto Rico. in participation with Rain or Shine Elastomeric Waterproofing Paint, Matimco, R Square Variables Incorporated, Compizel Enterprises, Saisho International Trading Corporation, DN Steel, EMAC UPB Roof Corporation. East West Bank, your dream, our focus.
Hey, Gretchen Ho here, and I'm a white coffee lover. Creamy kasi, and very yummy. Pero mas masarap kung hindi nakaka-guilty. Check my new discovery, Sandmade Sugar-Free White Coffee. Puno ng white coffee taste without the sugar, kaya lower calories. Try mo na! Sandmade Sugar-Free White Coffee. Sarap ng white coffee, now sugar-free.
The successful development of TPLEX, or Tarlac Pangasinan La Union Expressway in 2009, a 4-lane toll road that extends from Tarlac City to Rosario La Union, with an additional approved extension of 56 kilometers all the way to San Juan La Union. This is expected to reduce travel time to Baguio and other provinces in northern Luzon. Realizing the vision of creating a better world for Filipinos fueled the team's focus.
Listo at ganado ang baby ko sa vet-approved Nutri-Chunks with active boost and prebiotics na pampalisto. Made with real meat, with essential nutrients to help them grow healthy and happy. Listo, ganado sa Nutri-Chunks.
Ikaw lang ang star ng buhay ko. Para sa akin, perfect ka. Ang cheesy ng corned beef mo. Pag Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef, sarap ng corned beef, inangat pa ng real cheese cubes. Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef.
Welcome back. This is Siegel News America. I'm Anna Cui in Las Vegas. White House downplays Trump Fauci tension in Washington, D.C. Imelin Ramos has the story. Hi, Imelin.
Hi, Anna. Thank you. As we all collectively try to fight this ongoing pandemic, one figure seems to have emerged as a popular figure in explaining the medical issues regarding the coronavirus pandemic. That is Dr. Anthony Fauci, America's top infectious disease specialist. For many, he's the voice of reason and highly respected. This past weekend, it was reported by several news outlets that some news organizations received a list from an unnamed administration official that pointed out comments that Dr. Anthony Fauci made regarding the coronavirus outbreak that were eventually proven to be wrong. Some have even argued that these bullet points resembled opposition research usually done on a political opponent. For several days, President Trump has hurled criticism at Dr. Fauci, a senior member of the president's coronavirus task force, who has warned, sometimes in blunt language, that U.S. officials and citizens have not done enough to fight the pandemic. This led many to speculate that the White House sought to discredit Dr. Fauci. However, just earlier today, President Donald Trump said he has a very good working relationship with Dr. Fauci. Listen to what the president had to say.
Well, I have a very good relationship with Dr. Fauci. I've had for a long time, right from the beginning. I find him to be a very nice person. I don't always agree with him. I closed the border, as you know, to China. I did the ban on China, heavily infected.
Despite the efforts to malign Dr. Fauci, the White House appeared eager to downplay tensions, with Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany saying Monday that President Trump certainly still values the expert's opinion. In the press briefing earlier today, a reporter asked why the White House was trashing Dr. Fauci. Press Secretary McEnany has this to say. Please take a look.
We provided a direct response to a direct question, and that's about it. And to the notion that there's opposition research and that there's Fauci versus the president couldn't be further from the truth. Dr. Fauci and the president have always had a very good working relationship.
Faced with outbreak surges in the U.S. South and West, Fauci sounded the alarm last week, denouncing the hasty end to lockdowns in several states and the general carelessness of many Americans. Dr. Fauci said this last Thursday, quote, "As a country, when you compare us to other countries, I don't think you can say we're doing great. We're just not." On the other hand, what does President Trump has to say about the overall response to the pandemic? Let's take a look at the president again.
But no, we test more than anybody by far. And when you test, you create cases. So we've created cases. I can tell you some countries, they test when somebody walks into a hospital sick or walks into maybe a doctor's office, but usually a hospital, that's the testing they do, so they don't have cases. Whereas we do, we have all of these cases, so, you know, it's a double-edged sword. At the same time, we have the lowest mortality, or just about the lowest mortality in the world.
I, just like many others, have a lot of respect to Dr. Fauci. He speaks with authority and expertise that it's easy to believe in his recommendations and advice. But he's just one of the many advisors to the president, and it's the president who ultimately has to make the tough decisions regarding how we can move forward as a country against this pandemic. Let's just hope that the president makes the best decisions for the sake of our country. In Washington, D.C., I'm Milene Bondoc Ramos, Eagle News. We live in interesting times. Back to you, Anna.
Thank you, Emmeline, for that report. Yes, I'm sure a lot of us have noticed that we don't see Dr. Fauci in any of the press briefings that's been held by the president lately. So in any event, of course, we can talk about the argument about testing. In any event, if their relationship continues to sour, can President Trump fire Dr. Fauci?
That's a very good question, Anna. Well, based on my research, the president could not simply fire Dr. Fauci without cause. Dr. Fauci is a career civil servant, and there are civil service protections that could prevent him from being removed or demoted from his position. Dr. Fauci would also be able to appeal or respond to any allegations against him. However, as you have mentioned, President Trump could sideline him or remove him from the coronavirus task force. If you have noticed, we don't see him that often right now with the press briefings and some of the press briefings. But with so many Americans putting their trust in Fauci, it's hard to see President Trump sidelining him completely anytime soon. Anna.
Yes, it's important that we know, we look to the experts, right? Just as you mentioned, of course, President Trump, being the president, he does have the final say on what he's going to decide for the country. But of course, it is important to always look to the medical experts regarding the coronavirus. So hopefully, they'll work it out somehow. So thank you, Milene, for that report, and continue to take care for you and your family there.
Thank you. You too, Anna.
Coming up, more updates from our correspondents across the U.S. Stay with us. This is Eagle News America.
Tomorrow, I love ya. Tomorrow, you're always a day away.
Ein sonniger Tag heute hier in Berlin vor dem Bundestag. Ich bin Irene Juliet Arzadon und möchte diese Gelegenheit nutzen, um ein paar Worte mit euch zu teilen. An alle Menschen da draußen. In dieser Zeit, lasst uns nicht vergessen, den Menschen zu danken, die ihr Leben für uns opfern. Sei es die Menschen, die im Krankenhaus arbeiten, in den Altenheimen, sowie in den Arztpraxen, aber auch an die Menschen, die im Lebensmittelhandel sich befinden. Die Kassierer, Manchmal reicht es aus, um ihnen ein freundliches Lächeln zu geben. Denn die Menschen, die heute am Arbeiten sind, weil sie nicht so wie einige von uns zu Hause bleiben können, die sollten wir wertschätzen. Ihnen sollten wir unseren Dank ausrichten. Darum lasst uns noch mehr zusammenhalten. Sie wertschätzen.
Protektahan ang sarili laban sa coronavirus disease o COVID-19.
Narito ang ilang paalala.
Takpan ang ilong at bibig sa tuwing babahing at uubo. Gamitin ang looban ng siko. Kung gagamit naman ng tissue, ay tiyaking maitapon ito agad sa tamang basurahan. Iwasang hawakan ang ilong o bibig. Ugaliing maghugas ng mga kamay gamit ang sabon at umaagos na tubig o magpahid ng alcohol-based sanitizer.
Gumamit ng face mask kung ikaw ay may ubot sipon. O kaya naman ay may inaalaga ang pasyente na mayroong simptomas ng respiratory illness. Itapon ng gamit na face mask sa tamang basurahan.
Sundin ang social distancing. Panatilihin ang 1 metrong layo mula sa ibang tao, lalo na kapag nasa labas ng bahay. Kung maaari ay umiwas muna sa mga matataong lugar.
Laging tandaan, mahalaga ang kalinisan upang sakit ay maiwasan.
It says the best defense is still containment.
We are in uncharted territory.
Silent volume 450. If I want to 100%. Standing by. Constructioning.
Mga kababayan, naharap na naman po tayo sa mabigat na pagsubok na ito. Ito yung COVID-19.
I hope everyone's okay. I hope everyone's safe.
Nandito po kami para hikayatin pa po kayo na maging matibay.
Mas maging matatag po tayo and just stay positive po sa lahat po ng nangyayari ngayon.
Mga mahal kong kababayan, lampasan po natin, pagtagumpayan po natin ang pagsubok na ito.
Stay strong sa panahon po na to.
Huwag tayong mawawalan ng pag-asa.
At inihikayat din po namin kayo na sana makinig po tayo sa ating gobyerno.
Sumunod muna tayo sa gobyerno dahil yun yung pinakamainam na paraan para hindi na lumagana pa yung virus.
Let's all stay at home.
Spend time with our loved ones, with our families.
At higit po sa lahat, make sure to pray for everyone, pray for everything that is going on right now, especially our frontliners po who are sacrificing their lives to take care of everything.
Higit sa lahat, patuloy tayong lumapit, magtiwala at manalangin sa ating Panginoong Diyos.
Lagi tayong manalangin dahil yung po ang may pinaka-mainam na solusyon sa lahat po ng mga problema natin.
God bless you and your family. Please stay strong and keep our faith.
Tuloy po ang laban.
tissue boxes mo. Hindi mo ba alam, mauubos daw ang mga tissue products? Bakit naman? Ang raw materials daw ng mask at tissue products ay iisa lang. Saan naman galing ang balitang yan? Ay basta, narinig ko lang din. Maraming dilim kayang nagpo-post sa Facebook at Twitter, kaya kung ako sa'yo, kumuha ka na din. Sige na't mauna na ako sa'yo
Huwag basta-basta magpaniwala
sa mga nakikita
o nababasa sa social media.
Magsaliksik at i-verify ang lahat ng impormasyon
Nakukuha sa internet.
Tandaan,
maging responsable tayo
sa paggamit ng social media
nang hindi magdulot ng panic sa iba.
Kung paanong dapat labanan ng COVID-19
ay gayon din ang ating pagsugpo
sa black propaganda
at maling impormasyon.
Dennis Lu,
Lou Amelda,
General Partosa,
Tyranel Pililu,
Hannibal Arevalo,
EBC
Japan Bureau. We live in interesting times.
Hello, my name is Robin and I'm 5 years old. My mom and dad said many people are getting sick. That is why we have to stay at home. That is why I cannot go to school. I cannot play outside. And I cannot even visit my friends. We can only go outside if we visit the doctor. Or if we need to buy some food. And when we get home, we have to wash our hands. While I'm at home, I do my homework, clean up my toys, help cooking our food, and help my parents with their work. Please stay home so we can all play together again. Bye!
Welcome back. This is Eagle News America. I'm Anna Cui in Las Vegas. What is a COVID party? You might be wondering. Apparently, there are some groups of individuals who put together a party with a COVID-19 infected person attending. Other people in the party then see if they themselves get infected with the virus. A Texas doctor says a 30-year-old man dies after attending such gathering. In Corpus Christi, our Texas Bureau Chief, Jane Kathleen Gregorio, has the details.
Thank you, Anna. And how is the Lord Farsi?
In Canada, a 30-year-old man died of COVID-19 infection after attending a COVID party, according to Dr. Jane Appleby, Chief Medical Officer of Methodist Hospital. In a recorded statement released by Methodist Hospital, Dr. Appleby said the last thing the patient had said to his wife was, I think I made a mistake. She also stated that he didn't really believe. He thought the disease was a hoax. He thought he was young and he was invincible and wouldn't get affected by the disease. The hospital released a video to help bring awareness to young people of the need to protect themselves from the virus. In the video, Dr. Appleby said she has been hearing about COVID-19 parties where someone who was diagnosed with the disease would have a party with their friends to see if they can avoid getting infected from the disease. However, she stated some young patients don't realize how sick they really are, mentioning that people will come in initially and they don't look so bad. They don't look really sick. But when you check oxygen levels and you check their lab tests, they're really sicker than they appear on the surface, Dr. Appleby said. She advises those who are not doing well and have a high fever, cough, and severe muscle aches should get help. Dr. Appleby also said, my plea to our community, and especially all of our young folks in the community, is to take it seriously. Wear your mask. Over the weekend, the hospital released a recorded video statement from Appleby in hopes it would bring awareness to the need for young people to protect themselves from the virus. Dr. Appleby noted that in Bexar County, about 22% of people who are tested for the coronavirus test positive, which is about 1 in 5 people. The latest numbers in Bexar County is a cumulative total of 20,213 positive cases. Among those, 3,484 are probable, while 16,729 are confirmed. And among that, 195 fatalities and 7,086 recovered. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District recommends only those who experience symptoms of the virus to get tested for COVID-19. If you are exposed to someone that tested positive for COVID-19 for more than 15 minutes, Metro Health advises to get tested and quarantine for 14 days. In San Antonio, Texas, I'm Kathleen Gregorio, Equal News. We live in interesting times. Back to you, Anna.
Thank you, Kathleen, for that report. That's really it's a sad thing that happened, that he had to take, it had to happen for him to realize that always too late in the end, right? So it's a good lesson for the young ones who think that it's not a serious illness that's going around. So what are safe summer activities that other people can do there in Texas besides gathering together?
Well, here the city and county government, of course, as well as the state, does recommend social distancing of 6 feet and more. And so one of the easy ways to do that is activities such as walking in the park. And here in Corpus Christi, near where I live, the beaches have already reopened. And I was going to tell you a story, Hannah, you were going to talk about neighbors helping each other. As a matter of fact, this past weekend, my husband and I had traveled to Houston, and we actually got into the wrong lane and made a wrong turn and ended up in the line leading to the food bank that was distributing hundreds of boxes of food for families in need. We weren't planning to go there, but we were just in the wrong place at the right time. But so anyway, we followed a long procession of cars. Volunteers were there distributing parcels of food, and they were asking each of the cars to open their trunks or unlock their doors, as people wearing masks and gloves were distributing like boxes of fruit, canned goods, as well as milk and other dairy products that were all well refrigerated. We weren't necessarily needing the food, but it was a great help. Along the way, we made a stop. We encountered some homeless people that were asking for money for food, and it happened to be we had extra food with us, so we decided to share the blessings with them. So that was my story of practicing being neighborly during these challenging times.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing that story, Kathleen. Thank you so much, Kathleen, for sharing that inspiring story. I mean, you ran into blessings and you ended up sharing it at the same time. Thank you for ending on that positive note. So, well, continue to stay safe out there along with your family. We'll look forward to hearing from you again next time.
Thank you. Thank you. And stay safe over there in Las Vegas.
Thank you, Kathleen. New statewide actions effective immediately in California. In Sacramento, Macy Membrera reports. Let's take a look.
Thank you. In a press conference today, Governor Newsom expressed how trend lines for hospitalizations, ICU patients, and positive cases are continually rising in California. For this reason, he emphasized how California is moving back to a modification of the stay-at-home orders. With regards to these modifications, Governor Newsom expressed that there are additional statewide actions for all counties effective immediately. He explains more.
We are now effective today, requiring all counties to close their indoor activities, their indoor operations in the following sectors: restaurants, wineries, tasting rooms, movie theaters, family entertainment centers, zoos and museums, card rooms, and the shuttering of all bars. This is in every county in the state of California, not just the counties that were on the monitoring list that we announced on July 1st. So this is a new statewide action effective today. Every county in the state of California impacted by a requirement now to modify indoor operations and to expand opportunities for outdoor operations in these specific categories you see on the screen.
Governor Newsom also reported that there are now 30 counties on the county monitoring list, one of which is Sacramento County, which have additional actions to take for different sectors. Let's listen to what he has to say.
We're also announcing effective immediately all the counties on our county monitoring lists. And I'll show you that list, an updated list, in just a moment. All the counties on the updated monitoring list, we are directing they close indoor operations in additional sectors. So the sectors that we're closing statewide, again, restaurants, wineries, movie theaters, family entertainment, zoos, museums, card rooms, and bars, to outdoor activities to the extent possible. Now, with counties on the monitoring list, we have this list: fitness centers, places of worship, offices for non-critical sectors, personal care services, that includes hair salons, barbershops, and indoor malls. So again, these are sectors to close indoor operations in the counties that are on the monitoring list, to include these additional sectors that you see on the list we've provided. I'll remind you that monitoring list is one that we hold very closely. We monitor every county in the state of California, but we provide additional technical assistance to the counties that you see on this list. The counties now you see on this list total 30. We are today announcing 4 additional counties have come onto our list: Placer County, Sonoma, Sutter, and Yuba County. These 30 counties in total represent about 80% of the population in the state of California.
In his closing statement, Governor Newsom reminded viewers that COVID-19 is not going away anytime soon, so it's crucial that all Californians adapt to new behaviors in order to slow the spread. In Sacramento, California, Macy Membrera, Eagle News, we live in interesting times.
Thank you, Macy, for that update. In related news, LA County is actually one of those closely watched in the state of California due to the COVID-19 surge. In Oxnard, Eagle News correspondent AJ Capistrano reports. Hi, AJ.
Hi, Anna. Thank you. Like you said, in response to the surging number of new COVID-19 cases and deaths in the state, California Governor Gavin Newsom ordered today the closure of certain businesses and services, some of which had just barely begun operating again. Dine-in restaurants, movie theaters, bowling alleys, miniature golf courses, batting cages, arcades, zoos and museums are among the indoor operations that must be closed throughout every county in California. Los Angeles is among the many counties in the state that is being closely watched due to the high number of coronavirus cases and deaths. And because it has remained on this watch list for at least 3 days in a row, even more restrictions on businesses and activities are imposed. Shopping malls, hair salons and barbershops, establishments offering personal care services such as nail salons, body waxing, and tattoo parlors are required to shut down. Worship gatherings are again not allowed, and gyms, some that have recently reopened, are mandated to shut down. Protests and demonstrations are not permitted, and during the county's press conference today, it was clarified that indoor protests are included in this prohibition. Over half of the 58 counties in California are being monitored, underscoring the increasingly rapid spread of COVID-19 in the state. These counties, like Los Angeles, are being warned that businesses, workplaces, and services may be placed on limited operations if the rising numbers of residents infected with coronavirus continues to rise. In Los Angeles County, the number of newly reported cases is 2,593 and 13 new deaths. The total number of confirmed cases in the county are 136,129, with 3,822 deaths, and 2,056 current hospitalizations as announced today by the Los Angeles Public Health Department. Meanwhile, the state of California has a total of 329,162 confirmed COVID-19 cases and 7,040 deaths as recorded by the California Department of Public Health. In Oxnard, California, AJ Capistrano, Eagle News, we live in interesting times.
Thank you, AJ, for the update. It's happening again, right? It seems like we're having a deja vu, having to reclose everything again. How is the morale out there for the Angelenos, including yourself?
Yeah, Anna, it's a very bitter pill to swallow. When we just reopened the hair salons and barbershops, a lot of the Angelenos out here, we flooded out to them to try to make up for the lost time that we lost when we closed down. But now we're forced to shut down again, and it's a strain not only on us as consumers, but on the workers as well. So it's pretty tough.
What are you doing to keep your mind, your mental health? What kind of things are you doing to help that?
Personally, I'm trying to stay home as much as I can. My husband and I, we don't go out to restaurants. We try to, support local businesses and just take out food and eat here at home so that we can support them. Personally, I have been taking up embroidery, so I'm trying to keep, my mental health, a little creative side going as well.
Oh, there you go, right? It's another chance for people to learn a new hobby, and I'm sure there's more things that Angelenos can find things to do at home, hopefully, to try to keep positive. So,
definitely.
All right. Well, thank you for your report, AJ. Continue to stay safe with you and your family. Looking forward to hearing from you again next time.
Thank you. Stay safe.
You too. New Jersey is lifting its 50% capacity limit on transit, private carrier buses, trains, light rail, and Access Link. In Union Township, we have our Bureau Chief, Carlo Valdez, with the report. Hi, Carlo.
Hi, Anna. Thank you. New Jersey Governor Murphy signed an executive order on Monday that effective 8 p.m. on Wednesday, New Jersey will lift the 50% capacity limit on New Jersey Transit and private carrier buses, trains, light rail, and access link. Here are more words from the governor.
We are lifting the 50% capacity limits currently enforced on NJ Transit and private carrier buses, trains, light rail vehicles, and access link vehicles effective 8 p.m. this Wednesday. As we have undertaken our restart of recovery and as more New Jerseyans begin getting back to their jobs, we are seeing increases in ridership which are beginning to approach 50% of the stated maximum capacity of these vehicles. And we want to ensure that people are able to get to their jobs and that the system continues operating as efficiently as possible. To be sure, all other coronavirus mitigation efforts implemented by prior executive order, including the wearing of face coverings by both NJ Transit and private carrier employees and customers while in all vehicles, remain in effect. And through this order, face coverings are now also required in all NJ Transit and private carrier indoor stations.
This is great news in that New Jersey is indeed slowly getting back to normal. Governor Murphy also reminded everyone that masks need to be worn over the mouth and nose. He said no chin guards. And as for COVID-19 updates, New Jersey reported 231 positive COVID-19 test results on Monday, bringing the total to 175,522. Sadly, 22 more deaths were reported, bringing the total to 13,613. In Union Township, New Jersey, Carlo Valdez, Eagle News will live in interesting times. Back to you, Anna.
Thank you, Carlo. Now, as I recall, and correct me if I'm wrong, you used to be a commuter yourself, right?
Yes, Anna.
So how do you feel about this, the governor lifting the 50% capacity despite all the numbers spiking all around the country?
Yeah, thank you for that question, Anna. I think at this time, we must continue to be cautious of our surroundings. Yes, there are spikes all around the country, but New Jersey has continued to be on the right path, continuing to follow what the government is telling us and what to do. And as long as we follow that, we can smoothly transition to phase 3 of our recovery, which could happen really soon.
Thank you, Carlo. So what are you doing to keep busy out there?
I started to garden.
Oh, wow. What have you been growing or what have you tried?
I have tomatoes now and bitter melon.
Bitter melon. I know another person who actually just got that plant, and she's, I guess it'll take a bit for that to grow.
Oh yeah,
wow.
It's getting there.
That's a good hobby, right? Nothing better than fresh grown, organic grown in your backyard.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you can just go outside and pick a tomato. Do you have any fruits yet? Any fruits of your labor?
A few fruits like cherry tomatoes because they grow really fast. That's about it for now. The rest I'm still waiting for, but they're growing.
Well, good. Maybe the next time around, you'll have more. You would have tried more things to grow out there.
That's a plan.
Thank you, Carlo. I have yet to try that. I know I've heard so many people started growing things in their backyard, so I'll have to try that. Well, thank you, Carlo. Well, stay safe out there if you do have to go out, you and your family. Look forward to hearing from you the next time.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you. So with us, when we come back, a story about neighbors helping neighbors. We'll return shortly. This is Eagle News America. Welcome back. You are watching Eagle News America. I'm Anna Cui in Las Vegas. Residents of Los Angeles County affected by the COVID-19 pandemic received free items from the Iglesia Ni Cristo or the Church of Christ there. Eagle News correspondent Alex Gilman has the story. Take a look.
What did you receive today from the Church of Christ?
A hand sanitizer and mask.
Some sanitizers, I have a face mask to be protected about the pandemic.
PPE looks like a hand sanitizer and a mask.
The Iglesia Ni Cristo Church of Christ reaches out to their neighborhoods throughout Los Angeles County, California. Tell us how your family is holding up during this pandemic.
My life has changed, or my family's life has changed during this pandemic. Extreme to appreciate every day like it's your last day, to just, lean on God pretty much, and just appreciate every day with your family because you just never know.
We've been home for the last 3 months now, and we haven't been really the same since you can't do a lot of activities that you really want. And it's really a mental health issue as well that has affected us because we're not living in a normal way anymore. You can't do things that you're normally doing. So it really did affect me personally, and I'm sure my family did as well.
Oh, it's very, very hard now. Very, very difficult right now.
Thank you for being our neighbor was the statement that the members of the Iglesia Ni Cristo relayed to their various communities on this Saturday morning. Many went door to door and ringing doorbells to give away free PPE packages to assist them in this fight against COVID-19. How will this help you with your family during this pandemic?
This will help me during the pandemic, as it's really scarce to receive hand sanitizer, to get a hold of some, along with masks as well. They're very limited.
It's going to be helpful because a lot of the PPE around the area or anywhere you go, there isn't anything available because a lot of people are looking for these types of, mask or hand sanitizer because it's required to be out. You need a mask on to be out, so having these free PPEs are really helpful for us, especially now that's really nothing is available out there.
Many Los Angeles residents expressed their gratitude for this meaningful gesture. It was truly a neighborhood appreciation day.
I'm extremely thankful for the Church of Christ for these packages. These are, a blessing.
I would like to say thank you to Iglesia Ni Cristo to bring all these things to help us. Thank you so much.
I'm very, very appreciative to the Church of Christ. They're doing this to a lot of people in the community, and I'm sure not only me but other communities feel the same way, that we're being handed a mask and a hand sanitizer that you can't really find anywhere else. So we're grateful.
In Los Angeles, California, Alex Gilman, Eagle News, we live in interesting times.
Truly inspiring. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Iglesia Ni Cristo or Church of Christ is a global religious organization, and they actually all throughout the year, not only during this time of the pandemic, but they've done many community outreaches, not only in the country, but in other parts of the world. So it's really inspiring for them to do that, especially during this time. Well, what about, let's hear from you guys, what kind of things have you participated in within your own communities, going in line with our neighbors helping neighbors? Let's start with you, Carlo.
Hi, Anna. Well, recently I participated in a blood drive, and I try to do it every year because, it really helps the community. It's always good to give blood, and it's even healthy for yourself because you get to renew your blood actually. So it's a good way to help out the community and also to help out your body, and to be healthy as well.
Well, that's good to know. How often do you give blood, Carlo?
I try to do it every year. I try at least.
That's good. Speaking of blood drive, I know we had one conversation. Imelin, remember, we talked about blood drive, and I think I can donate now because, with the corona, the coronavirus, I'm happy to say I've gained a few pounds. So I think I will try to do that. So what about you out there, Imelin? What things have you noticed around your neighborhood that people have done or you yourself have participated in?
Yes, well, I couldn't still donate blood, but here in our apartment, I would say we have a respectful environment. Well, that alone is an act of doing kindness to neighbors. Well, in elevators, only one family per ride is allowed. Then the social distancing is clearly followed, and all the people I see whenever we walk are wearing masks. I think it's being done by all residents. But there are also several individuals in our apartment complex, start the lockdown, that post on the doors of their apartment or even the common rooms that have free stuff. If any resident needs toiletries or canned goods, they will give it away. And there are some who post about helping to do groceries for those who don't want to go out. Now I think it has eased up a little bit because we can, go groceries and stuff. It's easing now. So, Anna.
Yes. I remember during the start at the beginning of the lockdown back in March, we did hear a lot more stories with people, neighbors, just communities organizing their own community outreach, like you mentioned, picking up groceries for those that are elderly, or swapping items like toilet paper was a.
I've heard of the swapping here.
Right, so that helps. That helps. So I'm sure we'll hear. There are more of those stories, but we just don't hear much of them anymore. So this is good to remind everybody that we should continue to do good to our neighbors whenever we can. Now, AJ, how about you out there in LA?
Hi, Anna. Yes, thank you for asking. Here in LA, we have a lot of fruit vendors, fruit carts on the streets, the people that are selling, and it was crazy because my husband was watching this video on social media yesterday about someone who was being harassed for being on the street and selling fruit, and he happened to notice that it was a fruit cart that was very near his work. So when he was driving to work today, he had noticed that there was, this long line of people gathered in that area where the fruit vendor was, and it happened to be around the entire block. People were lined up to purchase fruit from that vendor to support them. So it's very inspiring to hear that, even though, we may be going through more than this coronavirus pandemic, there are still people out there who want to support in any possible way that they can.
Yes, that is a nice story. And thank you for sharing that, AJ. We have to, when we see those, there's quite a few, right? You just see them in the corner. I do try to always, even though it's sometimes, even though it's not something that I like, I'll buy a bag or two just to support them, because everybody's trying the best they can to, to still make income for their families. So it's good to support those individuals, even the mom and pops establishments that we can support when we can. Well, thank you, Carlo, Imelin, and AJ for joining us tonight and for sharing your stories. You guys continue to be safe along with your families. And let's continue Join me in continuing to thank our frontline and healthcare workers with a round of applause. We all continue to thank you and hope that you continue to also be safe. Thank you for joining us. This is Eagle News America. I'm Anna Cui, and we live in interesting times.